Melbourne, I'm Don Pratt, host of Policing York Region. We're here today and we've got a great show going with Alex Tang. And Alex is the coordinator of volunteer services with York Regional Police. And this is a huge umbrella, and we'll talk about that as we kick off. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Don.
No, it's great to see you out here. We've chatted for some time to get you on, and
I've been trying to claw my way into the show for some time now. Yeah,
we finally made it happen. So. Just to start out, I mean, we're gonna be talking about youth programming and youth volunteer opportunities, but I kind of wanted to start with a bit more of where your role is and what you guys do, because it's a huge umbrella.
Yeah, for sure.
So first of all, you as a sorry, I always get it wrong. Coordinator of volunteer services.
That is my title.
So what is that?
Yeah, so there's me and my partner Julia Funk. We're both co-coordinators in the volunteers unit. So we oversee intake of volunteer applications. We oversee the screening of applicants, placement of volunteer applicants, and beyond that, once a volunteer comes on board with us, we make sure that they have the training and tools to participate and volunteer in the program that they wish. And like you said, it's a huge umbrella. We've got, I believe, 10 different volunteer groups spread between Julie and I.
We should have printed them off in front of us.
Exactly.
There really is. There's a lot of them. We actually had the opportunity of doing a piece speaking just to volunteers recently with Dana Bordage, who was actually filling in for your time.
Dana's great,
And even as I've been with York for a while as a volunteer, I learned so much too. That just how many volunteers you have, right?
Yeah, we've got over, I believe, just a little over 530 at the moment. That number changes daily. And Don, you yourself are one of our lovely volunteers who come out and help work for us.
We have some great membership up here in the north, up in
definitely, the group Georgina CPC group. You guys do a lot of great work up here. So, a lot of opportunities for residents of Georgina or York Region at large as a whole to get involved and participate. So.
And so some of those volunteer opportunities includes what we're going to talk about, which is on the youth side of the fence.
Yeah. So that's a lot of what I do, just from I guess because of my background. So it's youth focused. We'll be talking about hopefully the Venture Scouts, the Rovers crew. So both of those are Scouts Canada partnerships.
Right.
We'll be talking about the youth band that we have, a very unique program to York Regional Police, and co-ops and field placements opportunities for students, high school students and university college students.
Wow.
So, lots, as I said, lots of opportunities for youth, young people to get involved, especially for those who are looking to getting into law enforcement as a career option. So.
Yeah, it is. In all different areas of the volunteer world, if it is your goal to get into law enforcement, it's not a bad way. It's not a shoo-in. It doesn't mean that you're going to be part of it.
Yeah.
But it sure doesn't hurt to be part of the environment, to see what you might be getting into.
Yeah, I think people get to get a bit of an inside look at YRP's business and what the job is like. A lot of good networking opportunities to meet uniform members, civilian members, and really figure out what it's like to be on the job, so to speak. So good opportunities for young people.
So what's the earliest that we can enter into some of the youth opportunities?
So our minimum age requirement is 14 years old for so it's basically high school. If you're in grade 9 and you're 13 going on to 14, we'll take your application because
there's going to be this switch over.
You'll get to that point relatively soon. We have made exceptions in the past for our pipes and drums band for a couple of applicants who were 12 years old, but they were able to show that their musical ability and their maturity was at a level that we can accept them as part of the volunteer world. So, so 14 and up, basically.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a few pictures just to give a highlight of some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. Maybe you can speak to some of these pictures that are coming up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
right,
definitely.
So this is part of the youth band.
Yeah, so this is a youth band performing at a local retirement home. So the band consists of anywhere between 30 to 40 musicians.
Every year. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it changes every year. There they are outside the venue for the annual Police Appreciation Night dinner, where they perform as well.
Yeah.
And this is at another Christmas performance that they've done in the past.
Right.
Yeah, so these all.
So they get out to a lot of different venues.
Yeah, we try to get out to maybe roughly once a month, performance-wise. They rehearse weekly, every Monday night at headquarters.
Yeah.
Musicians come to us.
So they come and practice at headquarters?
Yes,
Every
they do.
Every Monday, nice.
Yeah, they're local high school students that are in band programs, and they want to do a little more with the musical ability, volunteer, doing something that they love. It's a good outlet for them, a good way for young musicians to meet new friends as well.
Sure.
And our conductor, Peter Fudge, he is a great guy.
Yeah,
You've met him, and our administrator, Michelle.
Another one, yeah. Very energetic folks.
Yeah, they're just, both of them are great, great to work with, and also they're great with the youth. And since I've worked with Peter and Michelle for the band, they've helped the program grow. Every year, kids graduate, and so we have to recruit new members. So it's a bit of a challenge. So, and this is obviously a plug today. If any young people in the area want to join.
So you say a good plug. I take it you're always looking for youth.
We're always looking for new members for the band, and also for the Scouts group that we'll be talking about. New youth members are always welcome, and it's, again, a great experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no, so you said that the youth band alone has, I think you said 20 to 30 members?
Yeah, it's a moving target.
Yeah, of course. Young people, it's going to be moving.
Yeah, and the grade 12 students graduate, so we have to get some new members in. We would like to be at 30, 40 people, musicians, so that we're at the capacity where we can perform and put on a good show for the various ceremonies and parades and things of the sort that we go out to.
Yeah.
But generally 20 to 30, that's kind of where we
I think they're going to throw to some other pictures that you had here as well.
Sure,
but,
yeah, definitely.
And this, so what is this one here?
This is, so it's these are the Venture Scouts.
And what are they doing there?
This is called their investiture ceremony. In the Scouts world, which I'm somewhat new to as well, every year they invest or introduce their new members into the fold. And
they're welcomed into the fold.
Exactly. So for those who are coming from a Scouts background, they'll know better what I'm talking about here. And with the Scouts program, it's a three-pronged program. So it's scouting.
Are they actually doing forensic identification there?
They are. Well, they're learning how. Yeah. This is an activity that was put on by a former detective, Vince Egan. Yeah. He set everything up for the youth. We try to put on special presentations for the youth once every couple of months from our various units. They're there at the air support. They didn't get to fly in the helicopter there. I was hoping for that, but they got to check out all the gear, all the equipment on the helicopter. Here they just had a presentation with our emergency response unit, and they got to check out the tank, as I like to call it.
Yes.
Yeah, so the youth always like going out to these special presentations.
And they're right out on Lake Simcoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Every summer we try to get them out on the police boats, so they can see, check out the equipment, get a talk from the uniformed members up there. Here they're at a camp in Cookstown, helping out with a Scouts Canada-wide camp.
Right. That's Hans Erle, one of the leaders.
Yeah, exactly. Another one of our long-standing volunteers.
Yes.
And again, this is another presentation doing search and rescue.
Yeah, and ice water recovery, underwater recovery.
Looks cold, yeah.
That was right up here on Lake Simcoe as well, up in Jackson's Point.
Yeah. And
there's an experience.
Yes, another picture of the cold. So with the scouting side of things, they do a lot of camping activities. So they're winter camping here. It's craziness.
And that too again is up on Lake Simcoe. I think that's going right out onto the point of Sybil's Point. Yeah.
So between camping, volunteering, and special police presentations, like I said, it's a three-pronged program. So the youth that get involved get a lot of new experiences through the Venture Scouts program.
So now we were talking about age groups and we're going to kind of recap through each topic. I'm sure we'll bounce a little bit, but
definitely
with the Scouts Rovers piece, What kind of age groups are we talking about there?
The Venture Scouts, this is according to Scouts Canada rules. It's 14 to 17, and then Rovers Crew, it's age 18 to 26. So they're essentially, the Rovers Crew, they do a lot of the same activities, but essentially they're also adult volunteers.
Just at a more mature level.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, when you say adult volunteers as
Yeah,
well.
adult volunteers for Scouts Canada.
Oh, wow.
So they have local camps with the younger Scout sections. The Rovers are expected to be, and when they get called upon to help out, they're expected to go and assist, which our group does on a regular basis.
It's nice to see the Scouts Canada piece being held on to and mentored and moved forward.
Yeah.
Our own family was a big part of Scouts Canada back, well, more than a couple of years ago, but I can tell you that it did a wealth of good for any of the kids that were involved there, ourselves included. Like, it gave you a focus, it gave you a lot of education, a lot of friendships, and what have you, right? So.
Yeah, it's definitely a good program to get into. I'm new to this world of scouting, so as I learn more, it just seems like it's a great thing for young people to get involved in.
So you'll be strapping on the hiking boots sometime soon this summer?
Yeah, I'll see what my son wants to do.
Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Folks, on that note, we'll be right back, and we're going to continue talking about youth opportunities at York Regional Police. Welcome back to Policing York Region, folks, with Alex Tang and youth programs, youth volunteer opportunities. So we've had some great conversation around the band, and we were around the youth band, which I think you said was formed in maybe 2009. We're thinking in that time frame.
Yeah, so it was the idea of then Deputy Chief, currently our Chief, Chief Jolliffe. It was his idea to build a band for youth, and again, very unique to. It's a very unique program in that it's only youth, high school youth.
Yeah.
There are other police bands around, but I don't think there are any that are youth focused.
No, I'm not aware of any that are youth focused. And I want to move on to some of the other topics, obviously, but the youth band is somewhat of a passion for York Regional Police, right? And one thing to know about them is they're good. I had the opportunity of being at the Police Appreciation Night dinner back in May. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, and that night we had the pleasure of playing alongside the Pipes and Drums band. So that's not something that we do regularly, but the youth, they pulled it off. They did a great job, so I was pretty proud of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they practice every week. They put a lot of effort into their craft under the leadership of Peter Fudge.
Yes.
And they really give it their all. They really do try to put on a good show and represent YRP well in the public side.
And it's a great, we're always, of course, on our side of the fence, we're always about that whole community engagement piece. Just an extension to the youth band. Recently, we had the opportunity of having Lowell McClenny on and talking about the male chorus. Music is a big community piece.
Yeah, it's a good way for York Regional Police to get into a lot of local events.
Absolutely. They get into all different local venues, whether it might be a church, it might be a school, it might be a senior center, it might be a special event or a policing event. Between Peter Fudge of the youth band and Lowell McClenny of the Pipes and Drums, they're telling me of all these things that they get out to. It's like.
Yeah, no, they do a lot. Yeah, for sure. They represent us all over the region, sometimes out of region as well. So it's they're doing a lot of work for us in terms of positive community engagement.
That's exactly.
And it's
and that's why it's so close to us, right? Like that's what we want to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So then you're moving into the Scout Adventurer piece. We noted on the screen that this is a partnership that York Regional Police has formed with Scouts Canada. Great to see that come to fruition, right? And that was by one of your members, a retired member, right?
Yeah, so former uniform member Ben Hangeveld, it was his idea years ago, and it's, I guess his
Very community-minded individual.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, obviously it's worked because the program's still in existence and it's going strong. Every year there's kind of a new way of doing things because it is a youth-led program. So the youth members get to decide how the program is run a lot of ways. That's one of the pillars of the Venture Scouts program through Scouts Canada, is that you give leadership opportunities to youth.
Right.
So every year things get run a little bit differently.
That's it. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, no,
Right?
I think it's
I
a
wasn't
good,
aware of that.
yeah, it's a good way to give opportunities for leadership. Figure out how to lead a team,
Yes.
how to run a meeting, things like that. So
Yeah, no, and we had already touched on the age groups there, from 14, I believe you said, to 17 for the Scouts, and they actually meet right down at York Regional Police Headquarters.
yeah, down in Aurora every Wednesday night currently, they have a business meeting. But throughout the school year, so it kind of coincides. And with the youth men as well, their meeting schedule coincides with the school year, school holidays, and they take time off. So, yeah. So for any youth that want to participate, it kind of makes it easier for them to plan out their weekly schedule. Youth get with school and part-time jobs and stuff, things get busy. So, hopefully, we try to make it easy for people to get involved.
Yeah, well, keeping it to the calendar year of school.
Exactly.
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, so I suppose these folks that are in the Scout piece, they can move on to the more senior.
Yeah. So as you age out of Venture Scouts, then you become a Rovers Crew member, and then beyond that, I believe the Rovers Crew go up to age 26. You become a scouter or an adult advisor, helping out with the younger Scout sections.
Right.
Yeah, so it's sort of each Scout section, as I understand it, kind of builds upon the last one, so that eventually, as you become an adult in your adult life, you can come back and serve other young people.
Right. Now, so when we were talking about how this is overseen, I mean, initially, I guess before YRP's involvement, it was kind of an in-house, and they would be out looking for Scout leaders. Now that you have the YRP piece there, so you've got somebody helping to coordinate it all. Who else is at the table to help oversee the actual programs?
So we've got Hans, who was in one of the pictures. He's a group commissioner for the Venture Scouts, and he does a lot for Scouts Canada and also for the YRP Volunteers unit.
Yeah.
He helps out with a lot of the programming. He does a lot of the liaison between Scouts and YRP.
Okay.
We have different members within YRP. When we call upon them to provide those demonstrations and presentations for the youth, I've never gotten a no, because I think that's just how our members are very willing to help our especially the young people that are giving freely of their time. So it's been a pretty positive relationship between uniform members, civilian members, and the Scouts group.
Yeah. And it's great to see, you were talking about leadership roles in that there's that reciprocal mentorship that happens within a group like the Scouts, Ventures, Rovers. There's a lot of, we referred to earlier, there's education, it's mutual, right? So there's a lot of stuff comes to the table, right?
Yeah, and for the Rovers, many of the members who are in that age range in post-secondary school in a program related to law enforcement, their plan is to become either a uniform member or civilian member with us or another police service. So this is a good way to get involved, learn about policing, and get that community service experience that's very much needed. And as you said, become a mentor and help other young people out.
And just to give folks a bit of an insight into those programs, through the pictures that we've seen up on the screen a little while ago, it's not just about meetings at headquarters. There's opportunities.
Yeah, it's beyond helping or volunteering for York Regional Police. They also volunteer for Scouts Canada, obviously. So the two organizations that are their sponsors, and then also the youth, because it's youth led, they can go and seek out other volunteer opportunities in the community. Basically do whatever they see fit. That's community service, volunteering. That they're passionate about. So it could be, in the past they've done tree planting. They've helped out at local schools with parent teachers night. Helping with kind of parking
Yeah.
assistant sort of duties. Helping out at award ceremonies as ushers, so it's a pretty varied sort of experience. You get to do a lot of different things. It's not just one thing that they get to do.
No, and YRP extends the opportunity, as we've seen, to let them out on with the Marine unit, get a bit of exposure there.
Yeah, and one of the coolest partnerships or out trips they get to go on is to visit Ottawa and partner with the Ottawa Venture Scouts, Ottawa Police Venture Scouts, to assist with the annual memorial.
Oh, they actually go to the memorial?
Yeah, they go and help out with
wow, what a fantastic
various
opportunity.
duties. Yeah, so we follow the lead of the Ottawa Police Fence, and we just kind of support them in whatever ways required.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, right? Yeah. And I seen them also out with the underwater recovery team.
Yes.
So that's quite the unique experience.
Yeah, it's again our YRP members who are very willing to provide these young people with kind of a hands-on.
Hands-on, a bit of an insight of what's there.
Yeah, so they get to do a lot of cool things. Like put on the cold water. I don't even know what it's called, but the
cold water
suit,
the ice rescue kit,
and get right in there.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of other things too. Special presentations by homicide, traffic reconstruction, learning different bits about just the various specialized units. So
no, it's great. And again, if not that all of the youth that are involved in that are looking for possible careers in police enforcement, but for those that are. That's some pretty big opportunities, right?
Yeah, and I'd say it's half. Half the youth want to become police officers. The other half, they just want to get involved in something in the community that's fun and exciting and different.
Sure. Yeah.
So
and friendship building and what have you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
One of the pictures that I had to ask about was I seen somebody setting up a tent in the snow.
Yeah.
Pretty unique opportunity.
Yeah, I think they do that every February, a winter camp. And for the youth that haven't camped before, which a lot of them they've never done this kind of thing.
This is the
that's
picture
not
right
me.
here.
Yeah, that's not me setting up the tent there.
Well, maybe it will become February.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I doubt it. You could go with them.
Yeah, no, I'm a good spectator.
Yeah, it's for a lot of the youth that don't have the scouting experience, this is brand new to them. So learning how to, set up a campsite, cooking over the campfire. This is, it's not just all policing. As you were saying, it's fun new opportunities. And
it's life experience too, right?
Yeah.
And just so the folks at home know that that's not just a mock-up. They're not just having a play date during the day. They are actually sleeping
they're out there for I think 2 nights.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So.
I think last year they did it down at the community safety village, if I remember.
Yeah, no, that one I was there for that one because it was inside and it was comfortable. It was in the fall.
Okay. So you picked the right one to go.
Yeah,
to.
but it was raining, so the group that I was with decided to set up their tents inside the building instead. Nice. So
hey, it's still an experience.
I guess so. Yeah.
Right? Wow. I'm gonna move out of that just to capture a couple more topics. We were talking about high school co-ops, and I think you said something about field placements.
Yeah. So we offer the high school co-op placements and post-secondary field placements. They're both at the Safety Village.
Okay.
For the high school students, it's 4 credit full semester, Monday to Friday, 9 to 3. They're at the village.
Oh wow.
Save for the in-class days that they're back at the school. And for the field placements, it's just based on the students' program requirements. Usually it's 1 or 2 days a week. Sometimes they can attend their placement more than that. So they help out with the safety education, safety educators, police, fire, and this year there's the paramedic safety educators.
That's when the Safety Village became the tri-services, right?
Yeah. So for any young people that want to get into any of those careers later on, it's, and love working with kids, it's a great opportunity. So if they're looking for field placement or co-op placement, talk to their coordinators or teachers to get involved.
Right. Yeah. Now, so for any one of these programs, I guess you're always looking for participants.
Yeah.
Right?
So
or leaders.
Yeah, so adult leaders or volunteers, anytime anyone want to get involved with us, the easiest way is just to email volunteers@yrp.ca. YRP.ca, which I think was in the banner underneath
we'll put
there
that
on the
up.
screen. So then either myself or Julia Funk, my partner, will get in touch with you and let you know next steps. So that's the easiest way is through email.
And people can always chase some of that information through YRP.ca as well.
Yeah, it's on there. Description of the various groups are on our website.
Wow. Well, some great information in there, right? So, and now when we were talking about new membership, obviously you would take new youth on.
Yeah.
Everyone, we always try to make mention of there is a process. You don't just
Yeah. So
application form?
there's a background check process, which again, when you get in touch with us via email, we'll explain further. We do an in-house check.
Yeah.
It's pretty extensive. It parallels our recruitment process for staff members because we want to make sure that representatives for York at any level is at the same standard.
Fantastic. Alex, thank you so much for giving us all the information on youth volunteer opportunities.
No worries.
Folks, that wraps up this episode of Policing York Region. It's been great having you. I look forward to seeing you again.